What's up folks, TrevTCG here, and today we're having a look at Izzet Control, utilizing some new cards and some old cards. It's a bit of a Narset theme deck to be honest, so we'll start there I think, but we start off with 4 copies of Narset, Parter of Veils, 1 blue, comes in on 5 loyalty, each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. That's the ability we're trying to kind of abuse here. -2, look at the top 4 cards of your library, you may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. So hey, 1 blue, you get that denial of draw for your opponent, and then also you get to go find some non-creature spells. Nice. Narset's a really powerful planeswalker, often comes up either in sideboards or maybe as like a 1 of or 2 of another control decks, but here we're really looking to take advantage of this each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn ability, and we've got a few new tools in Shadows Over Innistrad Remastered to do that. So the first thing we have is Collective Defiance. 1 red has Escalate, just pay an extra mana to choose more modes. Target player discards all the cards in their hand and draws that many cards, and that's of course the ability we're looking to use with Narset. We're going to wheel our opponent's cards away. Obviously, this is a sorcery speed, so they get to draw 1, but they will have to discard the rest of their cards, so they only get to draw 1, can't draw more than 1. Awesome. Excellent. The nice thing about Collective Defiance, though, is that it also doubles as a normal removal spell, and has that kind of flexibility on it. So, 4 damage to target creature, or 3 damage to target opponent or planeswalker, either of the other 2 modes. Pretty nice overall. It's a removal spell, which then also doubles in Narset to wheel your opponent's hand away. Along with Collective Defiance, we have our old friend Commit to Memory. 3 in a blue, put target spell or non-land permanent on top of its owner's library, sack it from the top, and then has that memory ability for 4 blue, the Aftermath. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into the library and then draws 7 cards. Again, same again, this time you also do get to draw 7 cards as well, which hey, there's something played there. And yeah, that's pretty nice. Again, wheel our opponent's hands away. The last thing, and another new addition from Shadows Over Innistrad Remastered, is Gaia-Reach Sanitarium. Gaia-Reach Sanitarium is a legendary land, tassel colorless, but has this 2-tap, each player draws a card, then discards a card ability. The real huge thing here is that you can do this at instant speed, and so once your opponent is down to like 1 or no cards in their hand, they draw in their draw step, and you can make them discard it before they get to main, because you use this ability, they don't get to draw the card, and then they have to discard. And then eventually you run them out of cards and you just lock them out. That's the plan. Other than that, we're playing a fairly reasonable blue-red control strategy. Obviously, Narset to lock your opponent's hand out of the game is nice, but we do need to still finish the game, and so we're playing Magnum Opus plus Stretch with Gearhulk. We're not bothering with any of the kind of creativity stuff, which you could do. That's a different deck, really. But hey, all good cards individually, but also, obviously, you have Gearhulk plus Opus. Just kind of blow your opponent out of the water that way too. The rest of the deck, we have our 1-mana cantrips. You've got 4 copies of Consider, 4 copies of Opt. Gives you a card filtering, but also, hey, it is sort of like a pseudo combo deck. You want to find your Narset, you want to find a wheel effect. We have 4 copies of Fire Impulse as the best kind of mana for mana removal spell at 1 in red. 4 copies of Make Disappear, just efficient 2-mana counterspell. A single copy of Negate, 1 hard counterspell for like Planeswalkers and those kind of things that can be particularly troublesome to deal with in blue-red. We have 2 copies of Fires of Victory. It's a decent removal spell, which later on in the game has a draw attached to it, which is quite nice. 1 in a red to cast, and then 2 in a blue to kick. If it's kicked, draw a card, and then it deals damage to target creature or planeswalker each of the number of cards you have in your hand. We have 2 copies of Sinister Sabotage as another hard counter spell. We have a single copy of Rending Flame. I kind of just wanted to answer to Sheoldred, and that's the kind of nicest straight-up answer I think you have in blue-red. Obviously, Fires of Victory can kill it. It does hit planeswalkers as well as you kill Teferi, that kind of thing. And then we have 1 Brotherhood's End now, because like, what does this deck need to kind of round things out? I thought 1 Sweeper main for the aggro decks would be really handy. There are points where that throw out effects ability comes into play, but for the most part, I just want to play a main deck Sweeper, and Brotherhood's End seemed like the one. The mana base, obviously we do have our Gaia-Reach Sanitarium, but other than that we've got our blue-red lands. We've got 4 copies of Steam Vents, 4 Canals, 4 Pathways, so we've got 3 copies of Stormcarved Coast, a Den of the Bugbear with a Hall of the Storm Giants, an Ottawara, and 2 islands. One of the reasons why I'm playing a split of Den and Hall is just kind of one of the cheaper mana lands to be able to activate and start attacking with. In certain matchups where your opponent thinks they can tap out clean for a Planeswalker, or the fact that you've got a Den of the Bugbear in your mana base kind of stop them doing that, and kind of be like, hey, if you do tap out for something, we can punish you. That's quite nice. Obviously the Hall can end games later on. It's obviously great. And then a couple of islands to round things off there. So the sideboard, we've got 2 copies of Aether Gust for red and green decks, 1 copy of Disdainful Stroke, either versus green, or things like Enigmatic Incarnation, Yorion decks, that kind of thing. An extra copy of Negate, 3 copies of Mystical Dispute, for other blue decks, Spirits or Combo, where you just want more counter spells, 3 copies of Rending Volley, which is super important versus humans, super important versus angels, spirits, all that good stuff, and also kills Greasefang, and then camera away. Nice. Narset's Reversal is more of a catch-all, is more of just kind of like spell-based decks, where there's something either you can take advantage of by copying and bouncing your own spells, kind of like that remind your own effects, but also your opponent maybe has some powerful instant sorceries you can copy yourself, which could be quite nice. Then we've got 3 copies of Brotherhood's End, again, more sweepers for those aggro matchups, and then 1 copy of Blue Sun's Twilight. This is a bit of an interesting one if I wanted to try out. There are some cool, nice things to copy. It's got like Thing in the Ice in the format, but there are some nice targets here to take control of a creature, and hey, if you pay a lot for it, you get to copy it as well. We'll see how it goes. I think it might be quite good in some matchups. Going to hop into a couple of ranked games with this, but if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Closing in on that 500 number, that would be awesome. Thank you all so much. Alright. Ranked games. Into our first match here. Get to be able to play, if you will take. Alright, let's see. Gearhulk's got going down to late, but consider and make disappear kind of carries through the early game, I think. We'll go ahead and keep this. Plenty of lands to play with. So we want to lead on Ottawa and to cast Consider. Start looking for Narset and spells to combo with it. This is Awara, not a Hollow Subgiant. Ignore me. This Biobluff is the one. Hey. Opponent on some tricky mulligan decisions, but looks. I always get confused with these sleeves because they always look like. From a distance, it looks like that could be a Shaman. Obviously, it's a Johnny. But yeah, cool nonetheless. Alright, we will lead on the canal. Not quite sure why I read Ottawa as Hall of Storm Giants. But hey, that's fine. Lair implies mono green. The Giganta could mean green-red still. So kind of being wary of that, but we'll go ahead and consider away. The one thing we do want really is, and that's a nice one to put in our graveyard for our Gearhulk later, is we want a red removal spell. We want to find a bit of interaction. This comes down later. I'm kind of looking to maybe disappear. The thing about these decks is if they don't have the turn 1 mana creature, then 2-drop play is normally a little underwhelming. I'm just going to play out the Riverside Pathway. That's fine. If it's not super impactful, I'd rather consider here get to dig a bit deeper than use the counter spell now. We can afford to take a couple of hits. And we can chill for a bit, you know. Mutavault. Scavengers. This really does look like green-red monsters, even though they've not played a red land. But maybe they're just playing mono-green aggro. Could also be the case. Yeah, I'm not going to count as Scavengers. It's a bit annoying for what we're doing later, but we're going to try and find a removal spell anyway. Narset. So this is a matchup where Narset's not that great. I would like to find a red removal spell here, really, so I'm going to put this in the bin. Alright, Coast will end. I really want to see what that next land's going to be. Move on to... You've got Opt plus Make Disappear here. And we're on 19, we've got plenty of time. Alright, there it is, red-green. That's what I thought. Presumably with Chariots and Sky Sovereigns, but maybe, maybe not. I'm just going to go ahead and eat this. That's fine. I mean, they've seen it. They know we're going to be playing some Gearhulk or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and cast this now. I'll draw fires. I'm not going to like play it straight away here. I'll let them carry on with what they're doing. They ate straight away, which is a little strange to me. I don't think there's a 2-drop they can play that I'm super worried about punishing us. So I'm just going to go ahead and fire the Scavengers. Get that out of the way. There's an argument here that I really should have opted on our turn. But I appreciate having to make my opponent play around stuff. At least. As much as I regret the Magma Opus leaving our graveyard. Okay, new Scavengers is fine. We got a new Magma Opus anyway. We can look to maybe angle something there. We also have an Awara. So, there could be some shenanigans. There could be room for some shenanigans. They still need to apply pressure to us. We'll just counter this. Regular Storm is a troublesome one because once it's in... The threat of itself is not the problem. The problem is that it gives the next thing that you play haste. If they pass here, I'm going to cycle, because that lets us I think I just Gear Hulk away. I'll use this because I think we can still get value out of the Otawara. I'm just going to Gear Hulk now, while they can't scavenging use it. We will Magma Opus. Cast it. That's going to concede. Okay, well. We even get to untap starting Narset things, but hey. If it was just the 4 damage, that's not the point. It makes 2 4/4s, that's going to be really hard to deal with. Okay, Aether Gusts look pretty good here. The Brotherhood's ends, so we score Scavenging Ooze. I wouldn't mind having 2, but I don't want to load up on them, because obviously the larger things, like, it kills Burglar Giant as well, but doesn't kill, like... I'll take it under advisement. Also, Blue Senzine is kind of interesting. Though probably just a bit too clunky and a little cute. So this is a tough one because like Narset's not particularly good in the matchup, but see, it's a core piece of what we're doing. I don't think we actually want Rending Flame. It's a bit too clunky. We're gonna keep the Defiances, and then we've got 3 other cards on the draw. So when they're on the play. Turn 3 is really tough for this, right? The commit is definitely too cute here. And then I'm debating either cutting Disappears or Sabotages. I'm just trying to work out which. I mean, Disappears give us something to do into like us with 2 mana into them with 3 mana, which I think is a pretty like crucial point. And so I think the Sabotages are just worse. We're gonna roll this up. It might be that we just get mowed down by what are they called? The lonely monster. And these Brotherhood ends that look terrible, but we will find that out and then adjust accordingly for game 3. 4 might be overkill. This looks decent. We have fires. Forest, have they got the mana? Okay, now we've got Elvish Mystic. So we're running a little under the gun. The thing about Narset is we can play it and go digging for the cards we need. And they kind of have to just respect and kill it. Because grabbing 2 cards and going effectively like an extra 8 cards deep to try and find the spell we want is pretty big. Alright, they're just going to Scavenging Use. I'll just do this. This is fine. Gear Hulk. I want to draw this, but I would like to draw more lands too. The other thing is I put in the graveyard, the Scavenging Use immediately eats, it becomes a 3/3. And all of a sudden the situation becomes somewhat untenable. We don't have a counter spell here, so I might just I'm gonna do this. Yeah, Magma Opus actually ramping towards 200k health like we did last game is actually a really important interaction. What was the 4 mana thing they played? That's Esca's Chariot, but we don't have any answers to that, so I think we're just going to fire this away. It's not like they're not going to play the Chariot. If they have some kind of protection spell, like a +1 defense, the things look a bit different. But like the Chariot's going to be pretty brutal either way. Fire Impulse is an important draw. We can just throw those end stuff away. This keeps the Chariot, but I think that's fine. Maybe that's maybe I should take that into consideration when killing Scavenging Use. But I don't. Yeah, I think that's okay. So we need 2 more lands. Ooh, second Chariot's a nice draw. Puts us down to 14. Gets them some cats. Cat army represent. I was about to say if we draw a land here, we're not in too bad of a spot. We did not. I'm gonna end. Really do. We have access to 2 removal spells. Oh gosh. That's interesting. Alright, so you get to kill these two things, which is a nice tempo play. We still need to draw land. Alright. That's a really important land to draw. We're on 12 here, but we're gearing up to go turn this into a treasure, turn this into treasure, into Torrential Gearhulk. This is where we just get Bone Crusher twice in the face. I feel bad, but... yeah. Maybe they do have all the Bone Crusher units. Well, I have to do it. You gotta try. It's a bit of a do I pass turn, do I just like kill two guys? But hey. Ambushing them in combat is the most powerful way to do it. Ooh. Oh. What does that mean? I'll respond to this, that's fine. Okay. They're gonna pay. They are gonna pay. Alright. Interesting. One 4/4. Makes 1/4. And not out of the woods yet. They're 3 mana here. Ooh, actually. I would like to find a land. I'll find a basic island. I don't want to have to pay for it to come in untapped. Excellent. Okay, it's Exile the Opus. I was about to say, if Exile the Gearhulk, that seems egregious. I'm just going to scroll this in the graveyard. Okay. 17 plays 4. Cast Narset. I'm gonna go digging a little. Again, if we have an opportunity to kill... yeah, we'll just take this. Should maybe have played... for a land, but hindsight. We'll get rid of these now and then hold these up. Defend the Narset. So they have a 2/2 and the Mutavault. We either consider... and a Magma Opus. That's a shock land. That doesn't make me feel good about what's going on here. Aye. Well, that does that, I guess. Okay, a bit more, so a little magic here. We fall down here. That is fair. I I think I'm still fine taking these out. They're playing like Planet Ralphs and stuff. I think that makes sense. The Brothers Ends I am, and turns out, pretty happy with. The Blue Sun's Twilights. Stealing Scavenging? We have a lot of answers for Scavenging use. Maybe, though. Just creatures. If we could steal, like, if we could steal Chariot out of the tokens, then that'd be cute. Cool, but I think this is the right way to line up with this. Yeah, not the best matchup for, like, the Narset trick stuff, but, still fine. Back on the play. 2 lands, but looks pretty solid. We have a bunch of removal. We have a counter spell. We have a Gearhulk to work towards. Looking for some lands. Choo. There's Shaper Sanctuary. Shaper Sanctuary, one of my favorite cards. It's been on a lot of sideboards I put together recently. Is very strong. Okay. Draw the Sanitarium. We'll kind of save that for a bit. I'm just gonna count the Scavenging Ooze here, so I don't want to give them early card draw. I don't want to like, and just stick around with it in play. Alright, and given they've not anything else, we'll slam Narset. And then depending on how the next few turns go, we maybe get to start knocking cards out of my hand. Kind of want to land, but we'll take a mate disappear. This works out. Basically want to make disappear if the Essex Chariot on 4. I don't think it does kill Narset, if they want to do that. They do want to do that. Okay.
I have reached my limit.
It's fair play. Ah, yes. That actually is very annoying, because if that's how we want to sequence with fires. Yeah, return off kicking it. Even drawing is so bad. Oh, misery. Yeah, Shape Sanctuary is really, really strong. Creature you control becomes a target with spell ability. Your opponent controls, you get to draw a card. That's fine. Yeah, I should probably have just fires this on our main phase. Not entirely certain. We'll set a stop here. Okay. My turn. Oh, anything else the Shape of Sanctuary is actually not bad, but we also have kicked fires now. And we're closing in on Entrenched Gearhulk. That seems decent. What's going on here? Yeah, just kill me a vault. Again, they're drawing cards here, which is not ideal. There's Defiance. There's a Magmopus as well. You want to hold this, right? Yeah, because they're drawing a bunch of cards. We could play. They should draw more things. Using this to kill a line or else does not seem like my idea of a good time. it's nighttime again. Gotta love that mechanic. Alright. Untap land. There's 6 mana here. Looks a lot. I don't have a good answer to this. Should I make the guess the other turn? We do have a good answer. We do have a reasonable answer to it. But we'd rather Magmopus. I'm gonna tuck this for now. You are effectively just wasting that time here. This Magmopus kills all their mana, which is big. Yeah, just gonna tap everything. Okay. So I think we want to do this on upkeep. They also draw pilot cards. That's okay, because our plan is to Collective Defiance and wheel them all away. And to not let them have any mana. Don't misclick. Alright, cool. Giving them 4 cards to draw. But ideally, they don't get to use any of them this turn, and then we draw into Narset. Just having a Narset player would deny so much of this, but here we are. Do they have anything they can use their mana with on upkeep? That's the question. We can also just try to kill them, because they don't have much mana. There it goes. We've also got a graveyard. We've got a fires. Okay, they shock themselves for scavenging use. Not unreasonable. I feel pretty happy to just kill this attack and then counter the first thing they play. Then we have them dead in a couple of turns. Oh well, next turn in theory. I apologise for the lack of use of the Narset shenanigans this game. It was so close, we nearly got to Gyri Sanitarium. We got Reckless Stormseeker. That can't be countered, okay. Innistrad tool on your turn. Right. We'll activate the Sanitarium though. We'll do a bit of looting. I just want rid of the extra Collective Defiance. Ooh, there's a Narset. Well, here's the thing. Okay. Alright, well, that's the big reveal. No Narset shenanigans this time. There we go. Alright. Let's go to game 2. See you in a second. Alright, second match. Yeah, red green we didn't get to really do much Narset shenanigans, though we did use Narset and also Collective Defiance to kill our opponent in the end. Hey. Sabotage double Magnum Opus. This is the kind of we're on the play, so you have time to like sabotage something, which you don't always on the draw. It feels a bit sketchy, but it has lands and spells, so I'm gonna risk keeping it. Excuse me. Okay. Overgrown Tomb could be black-green mid-range, which has gained a bit of a popularity with all the Traversey Delirium stuff. But more likely just to be Abzan Greasebang. Though not with this art, to be fair. I'm gonna go ahead and just cycle one of these for a treasure. Alright, not a bad draw. I'm gonna play the Sanitarium, because if they do nothing again, then we can just loot. It lets them loot as well, but we're looting towards Narset, which means we can then, you know. Alright, Woodland Cemetery. We're just gonna sabotage the Thoughtseize. I don't want them to know. I'll put it in the graveyard. I definitely don't want to draw another one. Alright, commit's interesting. I will... Storm Carve Coast. Heads. Oh, okay. Abs. Planes. I'm gonna commit this. This is actually like is more annoying to have in the graveyard in some ways. Okay. Oh, mass, please. Could just memory here. I'm a main phase to consider because I do want to kind of find an Narset. Double stat tops. I'll just pass now. Castle. This is a confusion. Alright, I better start using these mate disappear, so they're not going to be very good for very long. There is a bit of a chance this just gets, like, what's it called? Trophied? Yeah.
I know 88 ways to defeat you.
I can only think of a Brook Decay for some reason. I'm just going to reveal a Narset, so they're disadvantaged to kill it. I'm trying to think if, how bothered I am if they, like, trophy in response to memory. Binding's annoying. You can't really do much about that, can we? Can we? We did reveal on Narset. I don't want to send the mana to do that. Yeah, okay. I don't want to sacrifice the treasures to make them discard a card. Not when they actually just have this here. Fair enough.
I must train harder.
I want to keep one of these Mammoths in hand. This is... I'm just gonna yeah. We'll cast a new Narset.
There are so many mysteries to uncover. I have just the trick for this.
Reveal Narset again. Like actually, yeah, though, because we're setting up. We're setting up for this. We'll end. Alright, this is a Vanishing Verse. I will make disappear this. Does put us into a bit of a little weird spot. So this looks to be Abzan control. Holy Coast is a nice one that's like recurring threat. It's like the black-green Omnath. Yeah. I mean, sort of accurate. Ooh, they got Flash Cutter as well. So we get memory here, but then we lose everything. We leave them with these in play. They also only have 2 cards. They have to draw one of them. We need both of these. We can, but it's not great. Yeah. Let's down tick.
Keep an open mind. Such violence is upsetting.
And we have our backup Narset, and we can cycle. Well, actually, we can't cycle the Opus again this turn. We have to kind of try and grind through their resources a bit. Ganjo. Boom. Powerful magic. I'll put an Narset back into play. We actually want to draw his lands.
Hone your prowess.
I'll just reveal Collective Defiance. Yeah, these made disappears are looking absolutely abysmal. So that is fine. They're gonna get Polychronos back, they're gonna get Wandering Emperor, they got Polychronos. Which gives us a target for May Disappear. We will take the opportunity. Even if it's just playing Fog a little bit on that. They're gonna scoop it up. Yeah. They know we can will the rest of the cards in hand away, and then they can bring Polychronos back from the graveyard, but it's not gonna win them the game. This is gonna be a pretty interesting matchup, I think. I might take this Blue Suns and put it in the deck. But it might also be terrible. It's not like we want to steal Polychronos. I'm not showing anything like super powered. Buys. I may actually want to bring if they're playing the Menace, I think guy. The best way to deal with that is Brotherhood's End, so I might bring an extra one in to push that at 2. So it comes to the 6/6. 7. I like Negate because it gets binding as well, which is quite nice. Reversal is actually quite interesting here as well. It also plays really well with a bunch of our stuff, but okay. So Vanishing Verse, bindings, like Forties and stuff, but that's not actually good. And then there's like, okay, do we bring Aether to the ring cards? Which I think is reasonable. I'm also not sure if we want to cut all these Variant Impulses. We've got the Collective Defiance, we've got Brotherhood's Ends, we've got the Fires. We try like this. And then reconsider again after sideboarding. Make some adjustments. So we didn't actually cast Collective Defiance there with Narset, but that's what I conceded to. I just want to make that clear. That's what happened, alright. Okay, we're on the draw here. 2 lands, that's fine. Opponent is mulliganed. Alright, they've kept 6. Okay, you've got 2 lands with a bunch of shoot spells. The Riverlight Pathway is actually a nice one to start with. Means we don't have to pay life to see some cards to consider. Yeah, this start is... One of the things I don't like about this kind of deck is that you just don't have a good 2-drop to play. Unless, like, against against creature decks or like aggro, you are. I mean, we'll draw the Stormcloud Coast. Sorry. I'm just gonna play this on the right side. Versus like creature decks aggro, you have like your removal spells and stuff. Here, unless you're sideboarding in like a pile of Duresses, which I think is pretty reasonable to have in your sideboard, you don't have like a 2-drop threat or anything to get in with. It's the kind of spot that what's the one on a black like Frenzy like. Comes back. No, sorry, Blitz comes back from your graveyard corners. Here's a T. Tenacious Underdog. Sorry. I think that's kind of good for. The best bit from our perspective is that we just get to go Narset, draw a card, and then they have an answer. In which case, we still go 2 for 1. Yeah, we'll take a Opus. Or, they don't have an answer, then we get to untap Collective Defiance. There's a Murderous Rider. That's fine. It does give them a window, but then, like, now they have a Murderous Rider in play. I'm really scared about it. Alright, so we have a pile of counter spells now. And a Magnum Opus that we kind of want to put in our graveyard a little bit. We'll see what they're up to here. The other thing is that you've got cards in your deck like Binding, which you want to keep in because you want to deal with like the Narsets and things. But also you can't just play out. It feels really bad. We'll make a tragedy. Sorry, I need to read this. Excellent top 3 cards in your library. Okay. You choose a participant to your opponent's hand. The Kembal Thoughtseize hand. With the other in, or the 3 down cards. All our cards do the same thing, and we have a bunch of we have active things to deal with Campbell. I'm just gonna give him this. Let's pay some life as well. Okay. I'm gonna play this out because I wouldn't mind looting a bit. We want to get towards the Torrential Gear Hulk now. Or as soon as possible. I'm just going to negate the Thoughtseize. Sure. I could let them take it, but I actually kind of want to keep the Collective Defiance. They have a part of Fear the Ruins. Which hasn't something that really occurred to me before. As being problematic, but we do only have 2 islands. I guess it's fair. Yeah, we'll activate this. I'm just gonna make this appear. They're getting their lands up. Getting their funding up. This is a case of like, do I mind sacrificing a land to count as Campbell if they play it here? Trespasser. I think we're also fine to do this. Yeah.
bound by threads of time.
I will down tick actually, because I don't have a way to pressure it.
Meditate and prepare.
We have a counter spell. We have consider though. I'm gonna reveal stroke. That's fine. Oh, we're gonna have to. You just don't have to deal with the Campbell.
I was not prepared.
Removing that with advantage of us seems weak when it's on 3. You can just attack it down to 1 and then it can't draw cards anymore. But I guess if you want it completely gone, I'm just gonna main phase this consider. Let's see what we hit here. I may as well draw this. Yes, we don't. We do have like a window. No way. This thins for us. Look at these cards. Just well, actually, they're in order, but it's funny because it looks like they're part of the bottom of my deck. The classic. Okay. Also, if they cast spells, we get to look for cards. Okay. That's opt. Alright, well that prevents an attack next time. We're on 10, but like in a a fairly good spot, as long as we don't draw dead for the rest of the game. Unanimate. You have to pay so much mana to do this. We do go to 6. This would be the funniest game to lose, I guess. I'm not crashed, I don't think so. Yeah, it's timing out, it's just taking a while. They don't understand how this works. Alright. I don't understand. Just pay 3. Please. How long can this go on? They probably had to go answer the doorbell. Their Uber Eats just arrived or whatever. The DoorDash. Or they're just taking the max of the time, essentially. Sheesh. I'll play like we played the last of them. Whiteland. I'll just keep it up. Alright, cool. Well, this has been Izzet Control. Deck's really sweet. There's a bunch of different ways you can play Izzet. I think this is one of the good ones. Narset with Collective Defiance or the Wheel Effect is really, really cool. It's more effective in some matchups than others, but you can see it doing work here. It's been pretty, really good. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy, please do like, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you in the next one. Peace out.